of December 2022. Friday is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing this morning? I will tell you one thing for sure is that I am very happy, I'm very joyful, and I think it's mainly because of Christmas, seeing that it is around the corner. And of course, there is a lot that is being put into preparation. I know that very many people are planning on traveling back to their villages. Depending on where you're headed, I mean, I am excited on your behalf, but also I would love for you to be able to be safe on the road, to be very alert. In as much as we all want to get to our destinations safe, it also comes from how we get there. So yes, I do understand that, but I also want you to understand that. Good morning, you get a Friday special. My name is Philomena, Mastiko, and this morning I am joined by the handsome and the beautiful lady as well. Handsome man being Felix Nkunda and the beautiful lady being Mollen Kenyana. Are you disagreeing with me? Really?
Of course not me.
It can never be Mollen. It can never be Mollen.
Well, I'm not used to such introductions.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's not.
We'll make it a point to make sure that you get used to that. Because you are.
Tell you what. Well, lovely. Now you're going to make me blush. You know, where we grew up, we were sort of like raised to think that when people start those kind of compliments, like, it wasn't for the masculine, it was meant to go to the women, and it's very rare to hear someone say, this guy looks like. In fact, if I had a man talk about themselves, like one time I had someone say, "Stand up," I'm like, how? Like, honestly, and that's how I was raised. So you'll excuse that particular one.
But I mean, I encourage you, if the man is looking nice, if he's looking smart, if he's smelling nice, throw the compliment in there. You know, and I know Mollen agrees with me.
Yeah.
Mollen agrees with everything you say. No, I know that she does. She's that kind of person who
I will say it out. Obviously, if someone is smart, if someone is handsome, for that case, I'll tell them they are handsome.
Can we change the topic? Let's just leave that part of
the man is blushing.
Okay. Easy, clearly.
So Felix,
allow me to say good morning to you, so we can just leave that. It's Friday.
Yes,
it is Friday. You know, and for me, my biggest excitement is that Christmas is on Sunday. Can you imagine? Like previously, we've been having Christmas on Saturday, on Friday, on Wednesday. Damn, now it's on Sunday. It's gonna fit directly into Mass.
But people are not happy about that. I just want to mention.
They'll be fine. Like,
they would rather it's like on a Monday.
Why?
Yeah,
that
makes a lot of sense.
I think for them it's just about the holiday.
Yeah, it's just about the public holiday.
No, but for me it's about the day.
The whole essence of
for
the
me
day.
it's about the day. It's quite glorious that it happens on the day that the Lord did choose where people rest and entangle themselves in worship and praise. For me, that's the beauty that comes in Sunday being Christmas.
There you go. Mollen, good morning officially.
Yes, a very good morning to you. And of course, I want to say good morning to our family. It is Friday, but also I think this is the Friday that leads to Christmas, and there is a lot that we know people are planning. We already saw a lot of traffic jam along some roads here.
But what's the connection?
I am telling you.
Honestly, what was the connection between this traffic
people
jam?
are moving to villages to be with their families. That kind of excitement, everyone is trying to get there. That is where the jam is. Actually, that is one thing that should show you people like Christmas holiday. They're just, you know, all over the place. And right now, if you're trying to cross over, just not going to the village, you better be sure that some of the roads you don't need to go to. And one of them, I think, is Masaka Road. Masaka Road since yesterday, up to now.
How about Ginger Road?
My dear. So people are going for Christmas, but of course we want to wish you a good one. Safe journey, wherever you're going. Be careful on the road. Police has consistently given out guidelines, but also as a person, you have to take that responsibility to make sure that you're safe. We know you're going to have a gathering with your family, with your loved ones. It's important that you get there safe. That's the message.
Well, there you go. We want everybody to be safe and sound. But also, I just want to understand, do you have any plans yet that you have put down, or you're just waiting to go with the flow? Because can I tell you something? I don't think I have anything figured out. I am just waiting for Sunday to come. Then we'll see. We'll find a way around it.
Oh, I have made plans. I have made plans.
Okay.
I'm starting today. And for me, Christmas, this is the time I get to have fun. At least, you know, move across the country somehow. Have a couple of friends over, celebrate things, like go places you've wanted to go to the entire year, but you probably didn't have the time. But now there's a holiday that you can take advantage of that. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to.
Well, there you go. Well, while we are still excited and, you know, trying to plan for whatever it is we are going to do between now and the 26th of December, it's also very important for you to know what's happening when it comes to the news front. And we do have our local stories. We do have our international stories. Of course, there is always a lot going on beyond all this. Some could be news, good news, and others could be, you know, a bit disappointing. But we will still have to let you know, because here on Good Morning Uganda, that is definitely what we do. Felix.
Well, of course, we'll be looking at our local stories and looking at our very first story where we see the ADF rebels who were killed. Now, just a few days after security operatives killed 2 suspected ADF rebels in Matuga, Wakiso, linked to the Allied Democratic Forces fighters. More 2 suspects rebels have been also killed in Toroko district, and the incident happened on Tuesday 20th December 2022 in Buramode sub-county in Toroko district. Monday night 19th December 2022, a joint operation by police and its sister agencies killed 2 Allied Democratic Forces fighters. Now, accordingly, the duo was part of the 7 rebel fighters who had sneaked into the country. Now, in Parliament, legislators of the 11th Parliament have paid tribute to their colleague, the Serere County MP Patrick Okabe, who died in a car accident on Monday this week, alongside his wife, Christine Okabe, the Naboa Trading Center in Budaka district. The motion to pay the tribute for the late was moved by Prime Minister Robina Nabanja and seconded by Leader of Opposition Matthias Mpuga. Now, food prices have shot as has been the case before, despite the festive season, an issue being attributed to struggling revenue base among members of the family. At Nakasero market, vendors say the issue of prices is due to the state of the economy, and the same is also related to COVID-19. Now, the last 2 years, a number of Ugandans have struggled financially due to misfortunes brought by the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ebola virus thereafter. However, as a result, food prices have been stable because the purchasing power is still low.
And crossing over to some of the international stories, taking a look at what is happening, of course, across the globe. Peru's President Pedro Castillo has been replaced by Dina Boluarte after impeachment. You could say Peru has a female president for the very first time after ex-president Pedro Castillo was impeached hours after he tried to dissolve parliament. Now, Dina Boluarte, previously the vice president, was sworn in after a dramatic day in Lima on Wednesday. Earlier in the day, Mr. Castillo had said he was replacing Congress with an exceptional emergency government, but lawmakers ignored this and in an emergency meeting impeached him, and he was then detained and accused of rebellion. Vladimir Putin has said the threat of a nuclear war was rising, but insisted Russia had not gone mad and would not use its nuclear weapons first. Now, the Russian president insisted that his country would only use weapons of mass destruction in response to an attack. And speaking at Russia's annual Human Rights Council meeting, he also said the war in Ukraine could be a lengthy process.
Crossing over to Africa, Al-Shabaab fighters have attacked a police vehicle in eastern Kenya, killing 2 officers and 1 civilian. Police and the armed group, that is according to the reports. The truck was traveling from Haile Lapset camp to Garissa town, about 120 kilometers, 75 miles from Somalia border, when it hit an explosive device, according to a police statement on Wednesday. The fighters then fired a rocket-propelled grenade at the vehicle and engaged in a heavy firefight, which killed the victims, police said. Al-Shabaab's radio handler said in a broadcast their gunmen killed 2 Kenyan security force members and injured several others in the attack. And the U.S. winter storm will bring a frostbite within minutes. Now, plugging temperatures wreaking havoc across the United States and Canada can lead to a frostbite on bare skin in only 5 to 10 minutes, experts are warning. A powerful Arctic winter storm has placed more than 135 million people under a weekend weather alert ahead of the busiest travel days of the year. The alerts stretch from the coast to coast and reach as far as south as the U.S.-Mexico border and Florida, the Sunshine States. Major airports have cancelled thousands of flights as the storm intensifies, and the cold snap could bring the coldest Christmas in decades, says forecasters.
Well, it's Good Morning Uganda Friday special. Of course, later on you'll be getting more updates coming in from weather and climate, and maybe we'll be getting also the weather forecast. Lucky for us, forecast, and lucky for us, we have been already blessed by the morning showers. I thought they would be very serious and intense.
Blessed? Is it a blessing?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Mollen, you know it's a blessing. Come on.
I feel like
I know people
They
who
were
are,
not
who are
heavy showers.
complaining right now and
Why are they
wouldn't take you up
complaining?
on that. I mean,
They were
they're
not
early morning
heavy
I'll
showers.
tell you what, you see, when it rains like this in the morning,
Yes.
and like it stops, like right now, it's getting so clearly, so getting clear. It's easy for people who are going to drive, like when the roads are a bit calm and the sun is not loud, the tires are a bit, you know, all this, it has a lot
Considering the visibility will be okay, because now if you're
absolutely.
going
No,
to
but-
drive
but if
and
it stops,
everywhere is
yeah.
foggy,
Yes.
that's not a good time
to do.
to
Yeah,
drive.
then that wouldn't be good. But rain is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
As long as it's
Yeah.
not really crazy
And if you don't
load.
stay in some parts of the country, they
Absolutely. Otherwise, it should be a blessing. But I know there is time that will come and we'll be wishing for this rain.
Yeah.
know,
It's crazy. So we need to really get ready.
and plus,
For that.
you, the fellows, you're complaining about rain. Call someone in the US. Call someone in Scotland. Call someone in Ireland.
No.
Oh my God. You know, just last week they announced that snow is going to be 7 inches. You know what that means?
I did see
Yeah,
people
you
trying
can
to
have
clear
to
the
Drive
way.
through. Yeah.
No, there's no driving.
Yeah.
The driving is out.
Yeah.
You cannot see anyone on the streets. And you know, it snows like about 48 hours constantly. You don't see, no, you can't move out. So you people are crying about rain, you find your way.
We should be more grateful.
In Luganda we say "Kuimuka yakajanja."
But also there are parts that are being
We should
flooded
be
because of
grateful
the
actually
rains.
when you say
I'm
that.
telling
Our
you.
Ugandan weather is predictable
Wow, wow,
and doesn't really take time to clear. It's either it's rain, it's shining. Those people get extremes. Like right now they're dealing with a storm, a strong storm
Yeah.
with winter stuff and all that. And I'm telling you,
And
it's,
for most of those countries
not
next to
pretty.
the oceans in Europe, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, I just respect them. Like, they have accepted their indoors. You can be indoors like for 2 months.
yeah.
Like, for real.
Listen, I love being indoors, but that doesn't work for me.
2 months. Flat.
We move. We're going for a break. When we get back, we'll be having more conversations and discussions about Christmas preparations. You know, what's the difference? What has happened? What has changed? Is it still that serious of a matter for us here as Ugandans? Or clearly we have been distracted. We don't celebrate Christmas in its essence. We just celebrate it as a public holiday. All of that, we'll be sharing our opinions. And hey, you, we would also love to hear from you what you think or what you'd have to say. We'll be back.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay?
Okay.
If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay. If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very, very own people. I have the Oboso bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Arapojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay? Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Yours as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by
Get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
Shoppers, we have a variety of items like gift hampers, foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience this festive season at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: in Tinda Stretcher Road, opposite Makere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. At Capital Shoppers, we offer you value for your money. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Paul, this is such a big investment.
Yes, but life is even a greater investment. Our doctors recommend Hemofort to help in quick recovery.
Hemofort is a medical syrup that's recommended for people of all ages, pregnant women, and people from all lines of work. Hemofort syrup helps the body's growth of red blood cells. It contains iron, vitamins, folic acid, and other essential elements necessary to keep both children and adults healthy and active. Hemofort. Build a fort around your family today. Keep all medicines away from children. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera, refrain from unnecessary engagement with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda Newsreel, 23rd of December 2022. Welcome to this morning's discussion. My name is Philomena Mastiko. I hope you're having a great morning. And if you're headed to work, well, I hope you get there safe and sound. But in as much as I'm saying this, I know that very many companies have broken off, or they're breaking off today. Yeah, today being the 23rd. So yeah, it's okay. You can, you can really do this. It's the last day, and probably you'll be resuming on the 27th of December. But for now, everybody's spirits are, a bit different and high, I should say, seeing as we are preparing for Christmas. There is a lot of shopping going on. There is a lot of chaos on our roads. There is a lot of travel talk. There is a lot of gift talk. Christmas gifts. I don't know if you've planned to gift somebody this season, or you're waiting to be the one to be gifted. I don't know
what plan. You have to give by force, man. That's how things work nowadays.
Again,
they
the concept
tell you,
of gifting.
People just tell you, sir, A, B, C, D, gifts. We're sorting it, so you
need to start planning for those at the start of the year, because you find yourself in a situation where you have to gift about 10 people. It's only sad that that if you don't get a gift from one of those 10 people and you're the only one giving out. But all of that, I mean, it's just part of the whole Christmas celebrations. And earlier on here, we're having conversations about the changes that have happened. Ugandans, how are we celebrating Christmas? How different is it? If you compare the times right now, 2022, 2021, and all of that, compared to the days back in 2000, the early 2000s, the 1990s. I don't know if we can tell, me and Mollen can talk about 1990s, but I know that Felix can give us a few things here and there. He was still a little boy, but I'm pretty sure there's some.
can talk about the 80s.
But yes, and I mean, I would even really want to start with you, Felix. In your opinion, when you look at those times and right now, how has Christmas changed in terms of how people understand it, how people perceive it, how people celebrate it? What's different? What's new?
Well, Christmas is Christmas.
It is Christmas.
And it's something we've grown up knowing, and what we know Christmas to be is that this is Jesus' birthday. Let me just put it in a simple summary. It is the day when the child of God was born, Jesus, and its celebrations are basically marked by Christians. However, because of the big numbers of Christians, of course, it also spills over to the other religions. I've been blessed to be in some certain countries in times of Christmas. And some of them, when you're there, even in Muslim countries, they decorate all their streets. That's the power of Christmas. But the Western world modified Christmas more and more to call it a festive season. Sometimes, actually, when you go to the people like the US, they say we like the season. And there are lots of attachments that they have put to the festive season. Majorly, the major underlining is family. That's why Mollen was talking about for traveling. So, one of the biggest attachments we have put to Christmas is family.
Yes.
So, and it's not only in Uganda. Elsewhere you go in the world, people are traveling to be with their families. Everywhere in the world, go to Europe, go to the US, go to all these other countries, everyone. Most times, actually, for example, who live in Europe and the US, at least, okay, I speak about them because I know they are most of their cultures. There's a lot of, the pay rises for workers because the people who are doing those jobs majorly travel. In Uganda, we call them the Basam. If you've noticed, around December, they all...
the season.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, one of the reasons why people come majorly around this month is because of the festive season, but also the weather that side sometimes is not very, very good for them to celebrate Christmas. Because there it's actually snowing. It's one of the coldest months, December. So, I don't know if it works well in the process or the season, but it is that season where we do take time off. And now I'm speaking from a Christian aspect.
Yes.
We use the festive season, they call it, to take time off and meditate. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem, this is what happened. There was a newness that came onto humanity. The birth of Jesus was the evidence of our given solace. No wonder Christmas depicts, among the very many things, becoming new. anew. Families become anew. Fathers become anew. Mothers, children, everyone uses this time. That's why if you hear in some of the prayers, most people do, they say, let the birth of Jesus bring newness in my family, in our house, in our work, in our country. That spirit of being born again, like because it's the power that comes with Christmas. Sometimes not everyone understands the purpose of why we celebrate Christmas. There's no way we would have been talking about salvation if we didn't talk about the birth of Jesus. Like, that's the reality of the theology in it. You wouldn't have been talking about Jesus did bring salvation to humanity and blah 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 if he was not, like, the story had to start somewhere. So we are celebrating the start of the story of salvation.
Yes.
The birth of Jesus is the story, is the starting of the story of salvation. So that's the power of what we are celebrating. People may not understand. People will talk about birth of Jesus, so what? I mean, many people were born. Yeah.
Yes.
But what makes it more important, or what brings life into our celebration, actually we celebrate the birth than the death, but the actual salvation happened at the death. You know, the time when you're talking about the Good Fridays and what,
yes,
celebrations are not as much as, but we celebrate the birth because it is the inception. It was like in contract law we call it like the inceptional breaking of the covenant. That is where our hope was born again. Like, now that the Son of God has been born, we shall also be sharing a part of the salvation. So it's bigger than just a day. But what I love about Christmas, I'll tell you, and I think it's also anchored in one of the songs of one of the local musicians. I don't know if it's Philomena, I don't know. I mean, probably it's him, where they sing about how Christmas is celebrated. There's one time we were in church, and Christmas we were in church, and one of the preachers said something quite interesting. He said that people come to church on this day when they are drunk, when they are what, like all sorts of people. But that is the beauty of Christmas. That you rather be drunk in church than being drunk elsewhere. Because, and I respected that thought of approach.
Yes.
You're better off drunk in the house of God.
Yeah.
Now, it also shows you the realization that the consciousness of people. And for me, my interpretation of whatever happens around Christmas, they're traveling, the people buying new clothes. And last time I told you, me, I am happy they should do those things. They
Yes.
should actually do more. As long as we keep ourselves in check, let us celebrate Christmas, because this is a way of worship.
I mean, there are people who barely go to church during the
But
course
they'll
of
go.
the year. Yes, but
That's
this
the power.
one
That's
day,
the
this
power.
one specific day.
And let me tell you, even if they don't understand, if they are just going for showbiz, whatever you go takes you to church. Please go to church.
You know
Because
that you have to be in church.
That is a way of worship and
Yes.
honoring God. You get it? Because you never know when it will fall on you. The blessing will fall on you.
It could be that day.
That's the thing. So that may be your last day of drinking. When you get in the presence of God, things will change or whatever. So Christmas, for me, if you ask me, Philo, it's one of those days that we should use to meditate. Meditation is key. The beauty is that it also comes at the end of the year. It's a good opportunity for us to give recount of how the year has gone spiritually. It's very important, because how do you want the child of God to find you as a being born? How clean is your house? How clean is your heart? Like, if you love Jesus so much, if you love Christmas, like, you can't say I love Christmas but I don't love Jesus. I mean, you like some people say, this is Christmas, CBD, but it's going in the village. Like, to say, because the only reason why you're doing whatever you're doing is because of the birth. Clean your house, that the child of God comes into a clean soul, a clean heart, and that is majorly. For me, my message this Christmas, and my biggest area of concentration is families. Families need to do a lot of check when it comes to themselves. we have the biggest challenges lately because families have fallen short of the expectation of Jesus' birth.
Well, thank you so much, Felix. I love the fact that you approached this from the spiritual point of view. You know, you really went in.
Did I?
Well, we need it. I feel
sunk in.
It really sunk in. And I feel like when it comes to Christmas right now, as we speak, people understand it from two different perspectives. The people like Felix who understand it from the spiritual perspective. Then there are people.
Don't look at Mollen. When you're saying what you're going to say.
Mollen, by the way.
Are you picking at Mollen? Okay,
and there are people.
I'm not dismissing it.
Because
I know she's going to say that people would take it as a celebration.
Yes, as a celebration.
Do you?
I'm not. It doesn't mean that it's the only thing we take from Christmas, but it's
Mollen,
something we count on.
But anyway,
I'm not dismissing it.
And this, yes, from the social perspective, that's where the celebration is coming.
It's part of it anyway.
Yeah. And there are people who have been judged for it. There are people who have been judged for it. And this is why actually, Mollen, I would want you to come in and maybe just share your opinions on this. What happens to the people who don't see it from the spiritual point of view and they decide to celebrate it anyway? I mean, is that something that people should be people should be casting you for, or, you know, blaming you for, as opposed, because yes, for most of us, we have grown up in our religious faiths, and I mean, they've been telling us how it's a big deal. You know, I mean, we celebrate it usually from that perspective. But how about the people who, like, you know what, for me it's Christmas, I have set my money, I am going to go to the village, disco, spend money, do all this and that. I mean, is there anything wrong with that?
No, I think people who would think that is wrong probably don't know the real origin of Christmas, because if you know, taking it way back, and I think most of the books refer to 221 when people realized there was a celebration for Christmas. There were a lot of events, and most of them were not liturgical even at that moment. So there has been celebrations for Christmas, not specifically to the Christian faith. And yes, Christmas is the biggest holiday in liturgy, and it is even celebrated by both Christians and non-Christians. That is something major. But taking it way back from when celebrations began, I'll tell you a story of how in the Roman Empire they used to consider this as the birth of the sun, and this relates to actually something we talked about yesterday, Philomena, the winter solstice.
Yes.
Now for them in the Roman Empire, they believed that marked the coming of the sun, because there was no science at that moment for them to understand that, okay, this is a time when we're now ending winter in a certain area or starting summer. So they looked at it as, you know, a celebration of brighter days to come ahead. And that attracted gatherings. People would dine. People would actually get together specifically to dine and drink. And to them, that's just a festival. It was nothing related to them going to church. But then again, you take it to the same Roman Empire, where there were also a group of Christians that believed this was the birth of Jesus Christ. Because yes, the Bible has not given clear clues on how December 25th came to be celebrated as the day, the birth of Jesus Christ. But Christianity will take you into the devoted meaning of that, and of course bring out Christmas in a Christian view. But then again, you also have, bring it back to what we have currently. You look at mostly the Europeans and the United States, people celebrate Christmas even before it gets there, right from Thanksgiving to Halloween. These are all events that are leading to Christmas, and they're already celebrating. And there is the whole idea of Santa Claus, and I think that's what we locally call Father Christmas. It's a celebration of its own. So if you look at it, it's not just going for church that people concentrate on. There is a social life there that is involved, and it's all a celebration of life. And I think bringing it to the Christian view, you look at the birth of Jesus Christ, of course, means that a lot of people get to reflect on their lives, what they've been doing for the entire year, in thanking God that they're actually in whatever position. Now, That goes with a spiritual celebration, but also as a person, someone wants to celebrate themselves and to be thankful. And I think that's what even the idea of coming together as a family comes in. You're not going to be surprised if you see families coming together and they're not even going to church together. They are just dining. Their reason for traveling to villages is not even for them to go to church. They just want to be around and share a meal and dine together.
Yes.
So it's not even spiritual, but the social act of it is a celebration of Christmas. And I think people cannot be judged for it. Now, where people take it to a different level is when you find, like Felix put it, you'd rather be drunk in church and, you know, not on the streets. So people were the drunkards. These are not people starting to drink on Christmas. They have been drinking the entire time.
Yes.
But then on Christmas, they take it to a different level and they're celebrating. And a lot of them actually end up in church and they are thanking God that they're drinking.
They're alive too. They are alive and they're still drinking.
And they're still drinking and they are thankful.
I guess it is.
They're actually thankful that God has allowed them that kind of life. And I think that's the beauty of Christmas. But you also look at socially, this is a holiday that is believed to bring together a lot of people in families. And also add to what Felix was saying, because you have people who are not living together. You will have a family that, you know, the only person that remains in a home will be their mother or their father, but, you know, kids are everywhere. Some of them are out of the country. This is the one holiday where you all come together. And of course, in the course of the year, you have misunderstandings. Yes. You have people who have fallen out. But this is an event that brings everyone together. You reconcile. And I think also church, or is in the main messages they give for Christmas, they always talk about reconciliation. Because now you have the space to do that. And you're beginning a new year. In church, you consider after Christmas, that's when the year is ending for us. You're beginning a new year of Christ, and you can't start it on a bad note. So this is the time that people sit back, reconcile, there is forgiveness, and that is the social aspect of it. And you also look at the fact that it falls in December, it's the end of the year, it's the last month. So you bring in social activities like the traveling bit of it, you know, meeting up with people you haven't seen in a long time, because some of them have been at work and December is when most people take holidays. So coming together in such kind of end of month, end of year, it attracts some of these social activities. You see people traveling to, you know, up country, you see people even traveling abroad. They're just going to celebrate their ending year. Some of it is not even attributed to Christmas, but the fact that, you know, they're ending the year, they're able to do some activities that have been pending. And that brings a whole idea of being social on Christmas and also looking at it as an end of year.
Okay. Now, also, we can't talk about Christmas and we don't talk about the concept of gifting. Actually, there are two more things I would really love us to talk about. The concept of gifting and also some of the things we should or we shouldn't do to make sure that we don't frustrate people during Christmas. I mean, it could be a friend, it could be a relative. You know that most people dread actually celebrating Christmas with their families because of maybe certain individuals, the aunties and all that. So I want us to talk about some of those things.
Are you speaking for yourself?
Me and
I'm
many
kidding.
others.
Oh yeah, I like
me
that.
and many others. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's very crucial we talk about that.
I thought so.
Yeah, but yes, I mean, these are complaints that have been put on the table every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time there is a family gathering, there is a young girl or a young woman or a young man, a young adult worried that there are questions that are going to be asked or demands that are going to be made. And hey, somebody is worried about that.
If you don't mind me saying this, I think sometimes this is the only opportunity to take a break for some people.
Yes.
I can tell you, and this one in particular is quite special because we've not been able to celebrate Christmas for 2019, if I remember well. No, we did celebrate 2020. We didn't. 2021. We didn't celebrate Christmas. 2 years. Some people have not seen their loved ones who are in villages, for example, those who go to villages. And that's 2 years. Some people have lost jobs. Thank God for those who are trying to find stabilize, trying to stabilize. We also bless God for those people who have been able to achieve a few things within this time. But we know for a fact that many people have also lost quite lots of things in this time. This particular Christmas celebration is a big deal. Many people need this Christmas. And why you think so? One, people need to be more and more encouraged because of what is going on. In a special way, 2022 has proved has brought lots of pain in terms of economic hardships for many people. It would be the least expectation for you to use Christmas to add on the pain that already exists for every other person.
Yes.
And that's why I was keen to mention, and I won't fear to say this again, the birth of Jesus should be or should bring another rebirth for all of us. For all of us. Let's not be passive. Yeah.
I wanted to bring in her aspect when you say it should bring in a rebirth. This is where I think families get concerned, especially about our social lives.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
no, it's
they
good.
want to see what you've done.
You know, no, Mollen and Philo, I'll say this. Family, we always misunderstand family, but they are family. These are people there's nothing you can do about.
Yeah.
You just either, like she talked about some aunties and what. Sometimes you see one of the worst things about family is that we never get to choose.
Oh, our family.
Yeah, you end up with what you like. What you get is what you take.
Yes, that is it.
So it's part of the beauty, I'll say. But for this particular Christmas, I think we need to be very, very sensitive, like our message has been throughout the year, because we believe that everyone is struggling with something. We've had the highest number of mental cases for the last 2 years than probably ever in this country because of the happenings, the post-COVID effects, the economic hardships. Families are broken. As we talk about families here, many families won't celebrate Christmas together because maybe a man has not been able to provide and stuff has gone south.
Yes.
Maybe the woman, so many things. For some reason, families are broken more because of the post-COVID effects than even before.
Yes.
The level of tolerance expected in this particular festive season, and by the way, it cuts across. And I'll start with them sometimes. One, employers. I talked about employers, I think 2 or 3 days ago. Employers, the level of compromise, the level of, you need to be very understanding. Let's talk about families. The head of the families, the fathers, the mothers. We need to be very patient with each other. I'm telling you that you'll be surprised. Some of us who walk on the streets of Kampala, it is evident that many people are struggling with life. If the husband used to buy a thigh of a cow and a sack of Irish and rice and calling your siblings and what, this time round, if they tell you we can only afford 2 kilos for please get well with that. We must be very, very, very understanding. Trust me. And if we don't, and this one is not by the way, it's something we must accept. Things have changed so much. So it's important that we take into consideration some of the challenges that we face as we celebrate Christmas. Let's lower our expectations. Some people will not go to the villages. Don't abuse them. Don't hate them.
Send them terrible WhatsApp messages.
Don't. Everyone is struggling with something. And I can be honest with you, this is going to affect how Christmas will be celebrated. Today is the 23rd, isn't it?
Yes.
I can tell you out of 10 families, 70 or 7 of these families may not know how Christmas is going to be celebrated. But it's the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if they'll be able to have a good Christmas celebration. Today is the 23rd. I can bet how many homes have shopped for Christmas. like we used to do. Out of 10 families, you'll find more than 7 families, or even 8 of them, have not done the shopping for. So the big question is, what do you do in times like this? Don't take it out on each other. That's what I'm saying. We need to be very, very tolerant.
Yes.
Let us, you know, and this is the biggest challenge of, sometimes it gets painful. Our Muslim brothers and sisters have a way they say it. They say that one of the people you should always feel remorse for, you should pray for, is someone who was able to do something and they can't do it anymore. You just don't know the pain that comes with that situation. 2 years ago, Mr. Head of Family used to provide for himself and other families, but jobs were over 1,000, over 1 million jobs were lost in COVID. You know, companies were closed.
Yes.
What do you do? People have moved to villages. They used to stay in townships. Landlords have areas of tenants of years. So we need to celebrate Christmas, but not out of sync with reality. Let's lower our expectations.
There you go.
What we are able, and you see, celebrations are not about hypes. They're about the thought. I can tell you, people can have a wonderful sweet meal of beans, posho, rice, and greens with love. And I can tell you, a house full of chicken, meat, and whatever, macaroni. We'll be sitting on that table, and no one will be talking, and only folks twing, ping, pong, pong, ping. And there's a lot of hate, pain, sorrow, and misery.
And pretend.
It may have nothing to do with the food. It has everything to do with our hearts. Let's treat Christmas as a spiritual celebration. It's, you know, you will call for all these good things, the eating, the dresses, the what, but how about we buy something more precious? Peace and love, because that's the biggest message for the birth of Jesus. And the Bible is clear about the same. It says, I want to give you these commandments: faith, hope, and love. But among all these ones, I live for you, love one another. You will buy the chicken, you will buy the cars, the dresses, but if there's no love in that house, dude or woman, it's useless. So for me, I think the biggest tool of trade that can beautifully substitute all these other things is how about we love people. And love has no limits. Like the Bible says, love is patient, love is kind, love is forgiving. This is how we should go through Christmas. Let us use this time to forgive each other. Let us use this time to probably, you know, try to be new. Like I emphasize Philomena, the word new. This, you talked about aunties. I don't know why aunties always come into it. I hear less of uncles. Or the aunties.
Yeah.
Or the aunties.
Not necessarily.
What is wrong with that? I love my aunties, but I have issues with them, but I love them. But
I really want to hear from you. What is the meaning of Christmas to you? How do you interpret Christmas? What does it mean, okay, for you as an individual? Look at it from your individual perspective. We don't want to hear what you think other people
and probably how they will celebrate this particular Christmas.
How, yes, you're going to
how they're
celebrate.
planning on celebrating.
Any plans? Or you're just like a Philomena here, who is still
going with the flow.
Yeah. Let us know. Get into our WhatsApp 0709602592, and you can get into our Twitter as well, #UBCGMU. As we continue with this discussion, Mollen, you know, earlier on I did say, what are some of those things people shouldn't do or should do?
Yeah.
We did hear from Felix, such a very sweet message.
Yeah.
He was giving the cream, but
now you want the real soup.
Now we want the real tea.
The one he was blushing brushing.
I'm glad that was saved for Mollen.
Oh God, you want me to be the hated one?
Yes, Mollen.
Well, I think, let me start with what people should do. And one thing that I feel has gotten out of culture, I think the decoration of a Christmas tree. We have had, this is something that even way before, people who couldn't afford Christmas trees, I'll tell you my experience in my village back in Lubirizi. People would put banana plantation, the banana, how do they call it? Are they trees? And then they would decorate that. They would get flowers. Yeah.
Wow.
Because they would leave that banana leaves there, they would act as trees, and then they would get flowers from the gardens and they would decorate it. And guess what? It will be around the houses, it will be on the roads, whatever. I'm telling you, it was a beauty. But right now, you can go to the villages and you don't see them. They have gotten away with the culture, but then again, they are not even adapting to the new artificial Christmas trees that are easily available now.
Yeah.
I think that is something that we should continue doing. The idea of a Christmas tree was always to bring in a new look in the house, and people would put balloons, but that is something that I think is still continuing. I've gone through different shops, different businesses, they have tried to actually put up balloons.
Yes, I mean, create the environment.
Yeah.
The lights.
Yeah, and the lights.
I mean, move around Kampala. Yeah.
And the Christmas carols as well. That is something that has also toned down. If you look at Christmas, the previous Christmas, we would have Christmas carols playing even in November. Yeah. My dear, this one started almost the last week towards
last
Christmas.
Week, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even then, the volumes are down.
Yeah. So the spirits have been, I think, because of the COVID thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there is really a lot.
I mean, it's been 2 Christmases not celebrated.
And
like
that is something we need to continue, though,
we're just
because
picking up ourselves.
Christmas carols say a lot. They remind people about Christmas. You're moving in town, maybe you're bothered, like we were saying here. People have issues. We have going post-COVID. There is Ebola now for the districts that have been dealing with that. You can't expect a lot of presents for Christmas. But if you're moving across the street and you hear this Christmas song, there is a way it gets you into the mood. So I think that is one tradition that we should continue doing. And next year, it better come early December. But also, things that people shouldn't be doing in Christmas. The aunties, the uncles,
the grannies.
What's wrong with the uncles?
Hey, my dear, they're also part of the puzzle. You show up, and I think men right now, maybe the aunties still go to the men's side as well. This is a man who has been in town or probably out of the home, you know, working and getting their money somewhere. But they're even afraid to go home because they know there is a particular question of when are you getting married?
Yes. When you look at the young
is it a bad
adults
question?
right now,
Listen,
no, we're not saying
pressure.
it's a bad question.
This
but
is
the
not the
pressure you're
right
causing,
time.
yes.
It's not the right time. Someone is home to celebrate, and the ladies too. You want to be home. You want to, you know, people to appreciate your achievements in a year.
Why are you cooktaring?
Have you seen?
Why are you let us know.
Felix, I am telling you.
If you're
come home with, you will
let us know.
Tell us. So we find solutions. Is there a problem, my daughter? What is not?
You come home with an award. An award. You won an award at your workplace. You got a certificate at your workplace because of your excellence.
Yes.
But you think they will recognize that?
Excellence must be creamed up by
They will be like,
Felix.
oh, okay, you did well. We expect that from you.
But now
you're not getting married. These are not questions we expect for Christmas. For heaven's sake,
you know what
these
they
need to
do?
stop.
They first give examples of their neighbors.
Yeah.
1 hour ago, yeah, we attended this function.
No, this is not right. People, this is not right. I think we are coming together to celebrate. We want to feel loved. We want to feel appreciated for what we've done. How about, yes, it's a fair question.
Yes.
But do not major on that. This is putting unnecessary pressure. This is why some people are choosing to stay, you know, around town because they're afraid of such questions. And at the end of the day, you're breaking the tradition of Christmas. Yes. You're not able to share with them or even appreciate them or even support them because you have put unnecessary pressure there. And I think this is something that needs to really, really stop. And now it's not just the aunties and uncles we're talking about, the grannies, also parents. Usually, you'd have your mom on your side. No, let her be. She's still young. And then, but now they've also joined the queue. They're among the people pressurizing you to get into marriages, and I think
your
it's
mom
not
is
fair.
watching.
Well,
I know she's watching.
Yes, but they need to be told.
I know she's watching.
Yours too,
They definitely are watching, and they need to know.
But this is also something clear
yes.
that I think parents, we need to talk to the parents about it because they will think it's okay, and it's
Why
not
are you talking
okay.
to them on TV? Why did you
Yeah, because now she's not there to look at
are
you.
being talked to by everyone.
She's not there to give me
When have
that
the guys to
eye.
talk to her?
But also, there is also another. I feel like it's a vice that we just need to break.
Yeah.
The whole unnecessary competition amongst families. Okay, especially when it comes to events like this, or festivities like this, Easter, Christmas, and any other moment you have together as a family. I mean, this is the truth. There is quite some unnecessary competition amongst these family members, and it's not even healthy. It's not.
You know, some of them actually come to the family events just to see what so and so has.
Exactly.
They are just looking at what the other one's son has, what the other one's daughter has, and not in a good way, because they're also going to backbite you at
not there
family
to
events.
celebrate their achievements.
Yeah, they are just going to look at who has achieved what.
Let me just chip in something.
Which car are you driving? What are you putting on? And do you know these people actually take it to church as well? Let me tell you, there are people on Christmas who will stand up to give their test, and especially the Kampala people. Kampala people go to villages and they will just be there for the showbiz. They will be like, you see them so and so. I do this. This is what I've achieved.
And most of them,
you're making people feel bad about themselves. You show up with all these big achievements. People, don't do this to
anyway,
guys
some of us
in
are not even
church.
famous in our villages, so we don't even bother. But I'll tell you something. It's something I wanted to bring in when you talked about family, and I want to use a very biblical approach, or quite spiritual. I'll tell you this. You know, every time you put your eyes off what God has blessed you with onto the eyes of someone else or their blessing, it is quite an evil eye. Now, if you read the Bible, remember the story of Cain and Abel?
Yes.
Remember the story of Saul and David? And the story can go on and on and on and on and on. This, what you're saying, that this whole thing of family and how they come to look at each other about achievements and then competitions,
it's very unhealthy competition.
That is the beginning of evil in family. And this I'm saying to you, the parents, you the siblings, you the uncles, whatever you want to call you, whatever position you have in the family, you know yourselves. Once you birth the spirit of competition, you are given a very beautiful bed to evil. One of the biggest beds that the devil loves to rock and sleep well in is envy. Because that's how it starts. You put your eyes off your own blessing and you start looking at what God has blessed the other person. Then you know what comes next in your mind? I want to be like that person. Now, it means you want to take someone else's position in terms of blessing. And you know what sometimes that leads you to? Have you heard of issues of sorcery and witchcraft? That's how it starts. Because you don't meet just someone, and you start, no! That's how it starts. It starts with an envy eye, and that is evil. The Bible is very clear. How about you celebrate your blessing? You know, like here in Uganda we have a saying that like it is about the person cooking. It's not even about the sauce itself. It's about the person cooking it. You, if you've achieved, for example, you may go home and you're a teacher. It's about you to make your job or what you've achieved be precious to these people. You don't go there and you think because you met a lawyer, a doctor, you're becoming less of a teacher. So for me, I think, and secondly, why are we talking about what we earn at a family gathering? We're here to catch up. Like, what have you been up to? It's been a year.
Yes.
Where have you been? Why are we talking about what your house you're building? You know, why are you talking about the cars you bought? Like why?
Yeah, because you want people to see your effort, you want people to see your achievements, and you're sharing with family.
Sensitive
there is
beings.
a way you can convey that information.
But sometimes you don't have to.
In fact, sometimes
you don't have to. Like
but you're talking about family.
Again,
you're telling your family.
And that's where
haven't
the
you had
comes
to
in,
achieve
Mollen.
something, and you feel like your mom will really appreciate
You
it. This
must
is why
be
you're
very
sharing.
sensitive. You see, like when you enter a room, you must be very sensitive and study the people in the room. And
We're
the things you don't talk about.
Family room, though.
Exactly. You think even in families, man, there are things we never say. Even our families never know, but we just see them happening.
Yeah.
you know an auntie of yours who has been against you having a child, and you're there saying, "Hey, no go about what na rufunye miezi ena ndia buyembe nonya mumbwa." Dude, just shut your mouth. If you know this chick has been against you giving birth all this time, but you're telling them about how you're 4 months or nonya buyembe mumbwa timanyi ani, no, hey, ngena zalia nakasema.
So we attract like the witchcraft.
That's what I'm saying. Get into a position, like you must be sensitive, know what to say to people. For example, Auntie Philomena has 5 kids. None of them has ever finished university. All of Auntie Mollen's kids have finished university. Why are we having the conversation of dropouts in a family? Because you know, you're literally poking someone's
You're really being very provocative.
And being very, it's called and courteous, not being courteous.
Yes.
You get the point. Like in Uganda we say, Tosobola kugeza mulema wali wali solimu. Someone has one and they're talking about lame people like, hey, dude, like the case.
There's one right next to you. Yes.
You don't do that. Like, what do you expect? They're going to bring out the worst in you. Actually, they may never come back again.
Yeah.
You get it. And secondly, I don't know where this thing started. This thing of competing in life. This thing of making family members dance to the gallery of the family. If Philomena has a car, good for her. Maybe I can afford a car. Yes. I don't want a car. If Philomena has built a house, good for her. That's what she wanted. Mollen doesn't want to build a house. She's comfortable renting in Bukolobi, in Munyonyo. Man, we can be different. I think people just need to accept that we can be different, and the differences are what bring out the beauty in all of us. Because imagine if all of us were the same. Just be here doing the show. Like you have a replication of Philomena in Mollen, in Felix, in Robert, in Ruben. No. The differences we share as human beings, because are the ones that bring out the art of complementing. What Mollen is missing, Felix will cover up. What Felix is missing, Philo. That's the beauty of differences. And that's what families should appreciate. For example, you've heard these things, because Philo is a doctor, the father is a doctor, the mother was supposed to be a doctor, that one will torment her for all of her life if she's not. If a child doesn't become a doctor, the firstbone, watusala. But this kid is an engineer.
This is an engineer.
The kid is an engineer.
Pilot, but this one.
Now, you see, and we must appreciate beauty differently. There are kids who are not good in class. Even when you have billions of money, that has nothing to do with their goodness.
And that's also another issue. Family members fronting their children.
We need to take a chill pill. Let me just say it here.
To achieve
Let's just chill a bit. Sometimes Christmas, let's just chill and enjoy the good food if it's there.
It's actually so hard, by the way, because
it's just 2-3 days together.
2-3 days and you all go back to your
drink alcohol. Yeah,
the
drink
pressure
alcohol.
that comes with the 3 days.
And that's why I told you, for those aunties who give you headache, just make them drunk.
Felix, I'll tell you one thing. If you were to check out the car rental services in Kampala right now, you cannot imagine how many people are renting cars.
Now?
To show up at family with a car. They want to be seen as, they have
not
achieved.
really because they want to ease their transport.
They have rented all the cars in Kampala out of these services, I am telling you. Because now they need to show up poshy, and that's what they are doing. People have gotten to that extent.
But it's because of the pressure, the family pressure.
The pressure. And it's where we need to put our energies.
It's very unfair.
We shouldn't create environments where people feel like, if I don't have a car, why am I going to the village?
And Phil and Mollen, our families should be our safe havens.
Thank you.
Like Chechani in Luganda, it brings a Chechidukiro Chafe. When even things go wrong, I should be happy to run back like, man, auntie, I'm struggling, but I'm here. Man, Nako says a bus. I even asked for a discount, but to come because to feel
solace,
out from the noise of the employees. Like, let's make our homes and families our solace, our safe havens, away from the, how can you be running from your family now? What's that?
Do you know how many people shun their family, especially during times like this? They're like, but now, I'm going to go, and then there is this, then there is that.
We pray that the birth of Jesus
I would rather stay in my kafunda,
and painfully, I'm sorry, I've talked so much, but let me just say this, Philo.
This is a passionate topic for you.
And the worst bits, when you see these kind of aunties in church, you'll be like, these babes are going to bring Jesus down here. And you're looking at the aunt, you're like,
Auntie Margaret,
yeah.
Auntie Joy.
Like, man, if the energy you used to praise God, you use it to let people be.
But don't be.
But I love my aunties. If any of them is watching, I love you so much.
We love
this had nothing to do with you. It was about Philo.
She also
Me, I love you. I love you exceedingly.
Not really, but you know when you go through social media and when you see what people are talking about, yesterday I made some time and I realized that people are actually dreading being with their family members. It's really very, very sad and unfortunate, because as a family member, why are you making it difficult for your for your relative, for your sister, for your daughter, for your cousin to have some good time with you? Don't be that family member. 2022 should be different. Like Felix over here said, we've been through a lot. Honestly, there's been COVID-19, Ebola, I don't know, money, the economy has really been trashy towards us for the last couple of months. So we need love. If you can't get love from anywhere else, you need to be certain that you get it from your family. We're all about love this Christmas.
Can't beat someone who's already down, man.
It doesn't work that way. How deep do you want them to sink? It can't be that. But
that's deep, man.
Yes.
Well, the only place you can, because like if you can't run to family, where are you going to go?
Exactly.
And actually, for some of you aunties and uncles and moms and dads, if you are not having some of your family members for Christmas, be worried. Please find out. Find out. Open these discussions for you guys to have a conversation. But for me, I want to emphasize on something called LOVE. Love does magic. Trust me, love does magic. Pray for yourselves to get some love. Some of you
that's very important.
Loveless. I don't know.
Some people are loveless,
and
but
also the topic we're trying to eliminate.
Okay, I
You're bringing the topic
is there a
we're trying to eliminate.
possibility of people being had to be loved as well?
I don't think anyone is unworthy of love. Everyone is worthy of love, and I think we are taking it to sharing love. That means the family love, godly love. But when you take it to the relationship kind of level, you're trying to bring in conversations that we're avoiding. These are things that people are interested in knowing.
But Mollen, I will tell you, it's not love until it's actually love. You see, it's easy to love Philo, Mollen here, because but it's actually love when there's a price. You're loving someone, it's hard to love. And that's love then.
And family, really.
Like they say, that's the thing. Like they say, you've not given until you're hurting when you're giving. When you have like 1 billion and you're giving 1,000, you must feel the burden of loving. There's something heavy. That's why when Philo, you ask, I say some people hard to love. Yes, they are.
Everyone is hard to love.
And that's the people. Those are the people who bring out the real purpose of love.
If your child is very problematic,
forgiving,
love them.
For me, and love unfolds in events like forgiveness, patience. That is one of our biggest burdens as people. People never talk about it, but patience, man. Oh yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. Philo, for me, lastly, I'll tell you this. It is going to be a good Christmas. I know the Spirit of God says it's going to be a good Christmas. It's been a long time coming. 2022 has been one of the most tremendous years. God has been a blessing to most of us. He has given us good life, good health. I've not been to hospital this whole year. I bless God. None of my family members has been in a serious health condition. I know for a fact that that's not automatic. It's by the grace of God. I know that all of you here, my colleagues, have had a good year. You may have had challenges, but God
challenges will always be
but as long as God has pulled you out of these challenges, He definitely sends a message to you telling you, I still love you. We have lost lots of people along the way, but we are alive, and we must have reason to celebrate the birth of Jesus. It is important for us, even as Good Morning Uganda, as we celebrate Christmas, to always pass out the same message of love.
Yes.
I feel like this country would have been a much better place if people just gave some love. Trust me,
Spread love
it would have been a
Christmas.
much better place. Just calm down. Just, I mean, like just take a chill pill. Sometimes life is not about, like I don't know if any of you have ever, I don't think so. Have you ever seen someone in cuffs?
Yeah.
Like the more they fight the more they hold tight
Yes.
of them. The more you try to, they hold tight. Like it's automatic. That's how they were made.
Yeah.
And that's life. When life puts you in a corner, relax. Like any of you who does swimming, you know this. When you think, if you get into a place where you feel your feet can't touch the floor, first relax. And that's about life. Christmas, hardships are there, but you need to relax and figure it out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Well, I do have a lot of feedback from
I
our
would love to hear that
viewers.
feedback.
Very, 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 very interesting, and I have a couple of people sharing their experiences. There is one viewer here who is saying it pains to see the media publish a Christmas, which is a day not having biblical truth. There is no word as Christmas in the Bible. Where did it come from? Jesus never commanded even his disciples to celebrate his birth. Christmas is a day of pagan origin, and Christians have indulged in it. God said his people should move out of the wicked Babylon and desist from her ways. Christmas may look like celebrating Christ, but it's of the devil plan. Yes, I did say some of these are very interesting comments. Sadly, they didn't even put their names. But also coming in from Derek. Derek has
Gargamel.
Gargamel. He's a
Much
family
indeed.
member.
Yeah,
He is family.
I'm going to send Kirabo to take him a hamper, Christmas hamper one of these days.
He deserves. And by the way, Derek and all our viewers, we appreciate you every single day. He says, "Good morning, family. During my childhood, I was eagerly waiting for Christmas just for the special meal. In fact, that's the only day throughout the year I could eat my best meal. However, as I grew up, I embraced the spiritual side of it, and I attend Mass both on 24th night and on the D-Day. Still, it's that day I like to interact more with friends and family. Special Christmas wishes to you, Philo, Mollen, Felix, and Robert. You always spice up my morning. Thank you so much, Derek.
God be blessed.
And still coming in from Simon from Namugongo saying, but the meaning of Christmas is the day of remembering and wasting money. So, well, wasting, I guess this is from the social perspective.
You'll be fine.
But yes, again, we cannot judge you for that. And another one who didn't put a name says, thank you for the update and reminding us about Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there are people actually who need to be reminded about Christmas.
And this is what I was talking about.
This is what I think. This is what you're talking about. The Christmas carols. Sometimes you're really so much into your problems, yes, and then you snap out of it after listening to a Christmas carol, like,
Christmas,
Christmas, and you kind of like try to get into it.
Just to sink it in, that today is 23rd. You may need to hear that as well. Just 2
tomorrow.
days away.
You need it. We do have Dennis Edonga from Lira who is saying, from experience, my dad used to tell us we are not buying clothes, but you will all go back to school in the first week, and then we all come to an agreement. But some fathers don't talk to their families earlier, and that's where the problem comes. There is also that fix, you know, knowing that there is some money that is going to be spent during the festivities, but also children.
I remember when I was talking to Ruben about it, the first thing he told me, man, kids are going back in Alifed. Don't tell me about this.
Don't tell me about Christmas. I have to think
My
about
focus is on tuition
and by the way, I think that Right Reverend Kazimba was also giving a message saying, you guys don't eat school fees. Don't dine on school fees.
I tell you what, and then some nigga comes up with me like, dude, you've said that late.
Yeah,
you should have said
that. You've already budgeted, you know. We have to sort our God to send the money. You've already.
But still, it's valid. There is still time to save some money for school fees.
Well, the people in Barra Town who are watching, we are also very appreciative of that. I am seeing the messages coming in as well, and also coming in from. Another gentleman here called George, he's saying Christmas should be a big deal. In as much as we try to downplay it, it will always be Christmas, and we will always have to add value to it.
Lovely,
okay.
lovely.
Thank you so much, George. Well, the feedback is crazy. It's overwhelming. As we go on with Good Morning Uganda Friday special, I will be sharing some more comments, some more thoughts, some more experiences and opinions from our beautiful family. For now, we go for a break. When we get back, we'll be looking at the big stories in our papers, and Mollen will also be giving us
the
more
Christmas movie.
Yes,
yeah.
And weather and climate as well. All of that, it's still yet to come right here on Good Morning Uganda.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay?
Okay.
If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay? If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very, very own people. I have the Oboso bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Arapojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay. Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Yours as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by
Get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial star 165 star 5 star 3 hash to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
When you talk about our motherland Uganda, the pearl of Africa, you cannot fail to smile because of the smile that fills the faces of the citizens. Our nice good weather and nature that sustains us all, that enables us all to continue each in their own way because we are all different even according to each individual's work. But what joins us to become one person is the sweetness from the flavored drink Alleluia Jingati drink and Alleluia Tamarind drink. The flavor that quenches your thirst while at the same time treating and healing your body because it is 100% natural. Enjoy the drink that has got the tamarind juice in it. Made by Alleluia Reflexology, Healthy Solutions and Nutritional Research Center Limited. Get yourself a bottle of Alleluia from all shops around.
Paul, this is such a big investment.
Yes, but life is even a greater investment. Our doctors recommend Hemofort to help in quick recovery.
Hemofort is a medical syrup that's recommended for people of all ages, pregnant women, and people from all lines of work. Hemofort syrup helps the body's growth of red blood cells. It contains iron, vitamins, folic acid, and other essential elements necessary to keep both children and adults healthy and active. Hemofort. Build a fort around your family today. Keep all medicines away from children. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kaso's my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Avasa, and I work with Flavish Events. Did you know that UBC has a new canteen, a brand new canteen filled with goodness, delicious meals under Flavish Events? We are welcoming you throughout the Christmas period. We shall be open and we would like you to come, relax, enjoy while we go through the Christmas period. Merry Christmas from UBC, and we wish you a Happy New Year.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift, buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Happiness comes to us in many places. It's in knowing the mosquito net keeps our children healthy. The wife having the support of her husband. It's in deciding together when to have a baby. And for some, focusing on what's important right now. So what's your happiness? Make the right health decisions to ensure happiness for you and your family.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Rionga, aka Ru, hip-hop artist, lover of God, all things musical and Ugandan. This holiday season, I expect there to be a lot of celebration, a lot of peace, God's grace cover everyone in your travels as you go and you see your family and celebrate. Just have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and a happy festive season. It's your boy Rionga, UBC, signing out.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome to the press review. This morning, we're looking at some of the stories that have made it to the headlines in our papers, The New Vision, The Daily Monitor, and The Daily Nation. Starting off with The New Vision, public servants' salaries probed. Now, investigations cover pension, gratuity payments, and many others. MPs pay last respects to Okabe, and this, of course, was headed by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, and her deputy, Thomas Taewa, who were who laid a wreath on the casket that contained the remains of Surrey County MP Patrick Okabe. And the picture is showing how all this went down yesterday. Now, in more stories, Butabika Hospital records more cases of mental ill children. This is not really good, and we need to take it more seriously. National address HIV fight. Museveni cautions youth against short-time pleasure. And I feel like maybe we will listen. If the message comes in from the big man himself, maybe that's when we'll know how serious this is. And economy in 2022, did it grow or decline? You can get that in The New Vision. And what to gift in this hard economy? Again, the concept of gifting versus the times. I don't know when, Felix, I'll be getting my gift, but we move. Second page of the New Vision, Minister suspends land boards in 5 districts. You can get that full story and taking you back in history. Today, back in 2001, release of Raka Sisi in Koyoyo. And still today, back in 2003, Kibaki frees over 11,000 prisoners.
What is it there? The Monitor Finance Ministry in staff shake-up. Okay, now police march for peace, safety ahead of Christmas, and we also see it's quite a very beautiful gesture. We must thank the Uganda Police Force for a very beautiful one. But of course, Archbishop rejects new head teacher for SMAC. That's a good one also. Wrapping it up, A to Z, a wrap-up of 2022. And of course, there's some job opportunities as you do conclude the year. And NATO boss asks Amongi to quit over NSSF saga. Now he might be chasing a leopard thinking it's a cat. Okay. But also, sadly, socialite Kanyike dies at 68. My man Dynamite. Some of you who love party in Kampala. He's been one of the people quite present in most of the areas. Yes. And for some of you who have loved to watch, previously it used to be Janzi Band, then of course it became Janzi and Abeka, but he's been most close to the Abeka Band. Kanyike Dynamite there, he bowed out at the age of 68. Quite a good guy, I must say, who loved himself and used to pride about enjoying his retirement.
He was a very happy man.
Time and again, he used to talk about, I worked here, I worked for these years, I'm enjoying my retirement. You know, I'm enjoying my retirement.
Did you ever see him on the dance floor? He was always ready.
He has a signature dance when he pulls his hands back and forth, back and forth.
And I think in that picture over there,
and what we used to love about him, he dances even when there's no music. Like for him, he does it just long as there's some sound.
That's a different kind of peace, I think.
Yeah, I think he had chosen his way of life. But we do pray for his soul. That may the Lord receive it in eternity and pardon him for all that did go wrong while he was living on earth. And of course, we also pray for the family, his children, and all the people, his friends and family. But of course, back to the papers. Road safety dominates MP's tribute to Okabe. There also, Parliament yesterday did come out to pay tribute to their fallen comrade there, the Serere County MP Patrick Okabe, during a special sitting at Parliament yesterday. There, of course, we've been talking about roads time and again. And of course, if the roads can't be good, let the drivers keep that in mind and be very, very careful while on these roads. Now, case is here to reconstruct 70 kilometers of roads in Kampala, and they give you a list of the roads that will be constructed, and of course, where. Now, peace observers arrive in Kampala. That was 1985, of course, today in history, and jubilations as Allied troops leave Suez Canal. That is in 1956.
New Vision Sports champions and Ndeje University underlined their supremacy after they were crowned Eastern Africa University Games overall champions for a 7th time. Now the games ended Wednesday evening at Ndeje main campus, and in the picture there you can see them raising their trophies that were rewarded in different categories. So you could call them the Kings of East Africa if you're pleased to. Now in more sports stories, glory for KIU, Makere and MUB still seeing some more celebrations in the Eastern African University Games Special. Lugujo and Kayongo honored as well, seeing it's quite a pictorial page or pages and showing you what went down, who took what award home. That and many more in the sports section in the New Vision.
Now in sports, in the Daily Monitor, Oma primed for good show. Wow, he's coming back to the rings. He'll be playing Oma Kasimoma versus Narraton Okwiri, middleweight, that is with 10 rounds. If any of you remembers Kasim Oma, he's the great, was it? Kasim Oma, something like that. He gave us a good show in 2004, I remember, when he beat some American nigger.
Yes.
And then after we had him with Juliana, whatever those things.
I don't even remember what. That is a story that is a little bit more vivid in my head, but we move.
Yeah, the millennials. Well, goals concerned for Micho Chan team, and of course, Elites making strides in Hoima, and Cheptengai wants a turn to Township Kapchora running capital.
Well, go grab yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor, a copy of the New Vision, and, see what we are up to. We're going to go for a break. When we get back, Mollen is going to be here giving us still some more information when it comes to the weather and climate, the weather forecast for today, but also when it comes to entertainment. She's going to be giving us some of the movies we need to look forward to. When it comes to the Christmas movies, I'm pretty sure she should be having something to say about one of our favorite long-time movies, which is Home Alone.
But there was a lot of deception in that movie also. I'm thinking about that car, about 2-year-old kid putting all those traps for these big guys. And how these guys used just to fall in all the traps.
That little boy inspired me for the most of my childhood. To be very aware and also be able to protect myself.
Maybe to look out for the bad guys and what. But what inspiration?
But it made my Christmas. And by the way, as old as I am right now,
and there's another movie that we used to watch in Christmas, Sound of Music.
Oh yeah, so I don't know whether it was a Christmas movie,
and
but
Sister
I watched it.
And then there was another one.
Oh, the good old days.
The three movies I remember: Sister Act, Sound of Music, and there's this one, The Seminary Boys.
I don't think I ever watched that.
You should get that one. Then there's one lastly, Home Sweet Home.
Oh.
Anzo.
Oh.
You remember Anzo?
Oh.
You've watched Home Sweet Home?
I have watched Home Sweet Home. You know what? Please go use this time to watch all these movies. Or
I recommend those three. Sister Act, Home
if
Sweet
Felix
Home.
has recommended, do it. Do it.
I wish I could find them in Junior, but
we move. Mollen is coming to even recommend some more of
movies,
those movies. Yes, we need to get into the mood. Like I said, we're going to try and humbly but drag you into the Christmas mood. I don't know if those two words can work in the same sentence.
Kindly by force.
Yes, kindly by force. We're going to make sure you're there. At least we still have some time. We still have some hours for you to get into the spirit. We go for a break. When we get back, Mollen will be here to give you all that and more.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagement with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Protocol observed, where my good name is the real Kenny man with the vibes, anytime, anyway, and any day, all the way from UBC Magic One TV. I know for the fact those of you who watch Horizon Vibe Show, you know me, I'm that type man with the vibes. And of course, those of you who watch still the Magic One Mixology that airs on UBC Magic One TV, I'm that guy right there. Now listen up, I'm not here to talk about myself, but I know most of you are fired up for this festive season, and all I want to do right now is to wish you the very best of the best in this festive season. Grab yourself anything you can grab yourself, eat as much as you can, because I know in this festive season we eat a lot, we do, anticipate for food and much more. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. I wish you well in this festive season, man. My name is the real Kenny, one more time, man with the vibes, anytime, anyway, and any day. Blessed love.
is Good Morning Uganda.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Now I want to take you through what is happening across the country in terms of weather. It's getting Christmassy, quite a cold morning, a rainy morning across most areas within Kampala, parts of Wakiso and along Lake Victoria, whereas some people are actually enjoying the sun. But looking at the satellite for right now, we're seeing more of wet weather activities actually continuing across the central part of the country as well. Now we did start off with rains earlier across the Lake Victoria Basin. That takes in areas of Entebbe, where we had quite a little bit of heavy showers that did extend towards parts of Kampala, extending towards Jinja, Tororo. That is also across areas of Mukono. We're still looking at those rains even continuing right now as we speak. Now that is the same system that is extending up to the western side of Lake Victoria. We're talking about areas of Masaka right now, also dealing with the rainy conditions. It looks like that system is still there. It is mostly for the western side because it is propagating westwards. We could be looking at more rains over that area later in the day. That is why we're seeing the red to orange and green colors right there. That is indicating the rainy system that I'm talking about. Now that will also be bringing us rains, especially for the central part of the country. We're looking at areas like Ruwero, Wobulenzi right now covered with mostly cloudy weather with night showers also coming through. We're also looking at the midwestern part of the country where we have areas of Masindi, Hoima, quite cloudy for now, but that system is headed your way and it will be bringing rains for most areas across that region. Now that is still one that is coming over, even extending to the Choga region. We could be looking at rainy conditions also for areas of parts of Lira patch. Right now it's quite cloudy, but you might expect some of those rains to cross over. But the intense one is right there. Why are you seeing those red colors right there? That means it's also bringing in heavy showers across areas like Kalangara right now. It must be really stormy and quite heavy over there as we speak. Now it is also getting intense towards areas of Jinja and Tororo. That is one to look out for. And of course that will mean that it is bringing in quite some cold mornings. So if you're around there, you might want to hold on to that jacket. It's going to get only quite cold in the day. Now we also have one to look out for areas of Kampala. That system is still there and might be around for quite a few more minutes. So that is one to look out for if you're headed to town, or if you're within town and you want to make minor movements or a few movements. You might need to have that umbrella handy. That system is still there. It's not clearing right now. We're also looking at more of that actually extending towards southwestern Uganda. So meaning that areas like Mbarara can expect to have a rainy morning, and that system will be crossing over to your area. That takes in areas of Kabale Highlands. We're looking at its intensity and tracking its movement. That is also headed your way. So you could be looking at another rainy morning across areas of southwestern Uganda. That might also take in areas of Bushenyi. You look at Rubirizi right there. That will also be heading for the Rwenzori area. Could be looking at another rainy morning for you, but at that moment it might be just a few rains. Now again, we're looking at another sunny day across the country. That is for eastern Uganda, and looking at the Karamoja region, areas like Amuria, Soroti, crossing over onto Moroto right there where you're seeing the open gray colors. That is indicative of a sunny morning out there. And of course, that takes in areas of central northern Uganda, Gulu, Padel, also starting off quite hot and sunny. We're looking at the northwestern part of the country, West Nile, starting off with mostly sunny weather. You do have a few clouds, though, that are starting to develop towards areas of a patch that is extending all the way up to areas of Yumbe. Just a mix of clouds and sunshine, but most of that will clear into mostly a sunny day. So definitely you can expect to maintain sunny weather for northwestern Uganda, that is West Nile. Central northern Uganda still will be maintaining those sunny conditions even later as we head into the afternoon. But most areas within the southern sector of the country will still continue with mostly rainy conditions. And of course, we also want to take a look ahead at what is likely to happen as we head into Christmas. We'll be targeting mostly, that is on Sunday for Christmas, but also 24th as we begin, to start the celebrations or the preparations towards Christmas. The weather is going to be also kicking in. Of course, you need to prepare with it. And we're looking at mostly what we're expecting for Saturday. We're likely to have almost similar weather to what we're having today. There's a little bit of rain still expected, that is for central northern Uganda. That will be a huge development considering that today we will be having reduced wet weather activities for that area. I'm talking about areas of Gulu, Padel, Kitgum. You can expect that Saturday will bring with it a few rains coming through. We also have rains for southwestern Uganda and the Rwenzori area. That is where we're seeing those light blue colors, indicating that we could be looking at rains developing over that area. Now, also, if you look at the Lake Victoria Basin, that takes in, of course, the nation's capital, Kampala. You have areas of Wakiso, Entebbe, extending all the way to the western side, areas of Rengo, Sembabule, Masaka. We're also going to be continuing those rains, but also in smaller quantities compared to what we're dealing with today. But those rains will be there also, and mostly for the morning hours. That's what we're looking at. Now, if we look at Sunday, what we do expect for Christmas, we'll have more rains again developing. So I'm afraid it's not good news if you aren't expecting the rains for Christmas. It looks like it's a blessing coming through. Now, talking about most especially the southern sector of the country, where you're seeing the light blue colors right there, that is indicating the rains that are expected. Now, there will be in small quantities. If you look at the color pattern right there, if it were in the green colors, that's when we would be expecting some heavy storms. But light blue is indicating quite light ones to moderate, so meaning it will still not ruin the day. We'll still be able to celebrate even with those rains in the forecast. But that will also be, again, going further to the Elgon region. We see likes of Mbale, Bududa right there, also able to pick up a few rains. You look at eastern Uganda, and that is where we have areas of Soroti coming in. You have Amuria coming in. That system also continuing towards, that is the Choga region. So you can expect to have those rains. Again, a northern part of the country, the central north, will also be having more when it comes to pick up of wet weather activities. Now, more is still expected for Christmas, and you look at different models that are predicting that. Now, this is later in the afternoon, especially coming through, and it looks like there's going to be more rains again developing for central northern Uganda. So it might be good news after all, because this area has been mostly dry, especially looking at the Karamoja region and central northern Uganda. We still expect those rains to come through, and most of the models also predicting more rains. That is for the Lake Victoria Basin. So Kampala, you can expect that those rains will be coming through on Sunday. Parts of Wakiso as well as Entebbe, Masaka, extending that area where you're seeing the lighter colors in blue right there, indicating more rainy weather that is expected for the Lake Victoria Basin, especially, and that will be in the morning hours. And heading into the afternoon, we're seeing that the models are predicting that the southern sector will also be continuing most of those rains. So yes, that is one to prepare for. But again, also, if you have to go to church, you have to look out for, especially the morning hours. Be prepared. Make sure that the rains do not stop you. You can't just grab your umbrella. Make sure your car is okay and you have your wipers okay, so that you can still go to church regardless of the rains. Now, that is actually one to prepare for. Now, talking about preparing for Christmas, I know a lot of people that will have movies lined up, books lined up to what they can do in Christmas, which is where I come in to give you some of the movies, the best Christmas movies of all times, at least the ones that are getting the ranks. But before we get to that, there is a movie trending in cinema right now, and I think that is one that we need to also look out for. That is showing this week. It is on most cinemas, and of course, featuring one of my favorite actresses, that is Emily Clark. We're talking about The Amazing Maurice. Now, this movie takes you through a story, an amazing story of a streetwise Jenga cat who comes up with a plan and, of course, a money-making scam by befriending a group of self-taught talking rats. Now, when Maurice and the rodents meet at a bookworm called Maricia, their little corn soon goes down to buns. Well, this is one that is showing, it is an animation, but a very good one. And of course, Emily Clark is best known for her roles in movies like Game of Thrones. She was in Game of Thrones, and that's where we've seen her most. And of course, she has been in movies like what some of the best Hollywood movies actually, but this movie is also featuring actors like Hugh Laurie, who is also best known for his roles in most Hollywood movies, and of course in animation. We haven't seen Emily Clark in animation mostly. I think she has been more into movie and film, but her role in this movie actually does take a good turn for her. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Original fairy tales are all the same. The princess, the hero. But this story is a little different.
I am the amazing Maurice.
That cat can talk.
Well, of course. Many of us can. All right, go.
So what am I in your story?
You're not handsome enough to be the love interest. Then you're not funny enough for comic relief. Right, I'm off to get my adventure bag. Let's go.
I think I love her.
Looks like a town with opportunities.
It's all quiet.
There aren't any local rats here.
It smells, doesn't it?
Smells like a mystery.
There has to be a clue that would advance the plot.
The world doesn't have a plot. Things just happen. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right because I landed on my head.
You won't believe what we found.
It's a deadly evil.
Ominous.
Don't worry, a cat always lands on its feet. Ah, Maurice! Amazing, Maurice. You have to fight it! Come to me!
What? You'll have to find out the rest yourself. The Amazing Maurice. It's really not your average fairy tale.
Important safety tip. Don't need a dead rat.
The Amazing Maurice, obviously it is a family movie, and this Christmas, as you plan to, have time with your family, this is one to actually go for. Please do book tickets. It's a showing, and you can choose any of your favorite cinemas, and of course get the thrill and the adventure with animation. But talking about Christmas, now some of the movies that are considered the favorite of all time, and I think if you're also an animation lover, you'll know that this is good to go for. I'm talking about Elf. Now, Elf movie, this was way back in 2003, and it's still on top of some of the Christmas movies, being ranked at least over 85%. The smallest I've seen with percentage in ranking is 85, meaning that it is obviously going all the way. Now, it is a story about a buddy, a human, who is raised amongst elves at the North Pole. But when he discovers that he's not an elf, he travels to New York to search for his biological father. And that is a story that is really worth looking at. It does feature Will Ferrell, and of course some of these actors now are really have grown up, and you wouldn't, seeing as to how they played the movie Elf and how they are now. It's really amazing, and I think Elf has also taken in a lot of reaction when it comes to some of the Christmas movies that we're talking about, family, but also origin. That is one to also consider. Now, this is also still available online, but also some of the movie sites still have it. And of course, I think Netflix also still has the movie Elf. Let's take a look at the trailer.
No human being has ever set foot in Santa's workshop. That is, until Buddy. I hear you're going on a journey to the big city.
Can't wait to see my dad.
This might be the opportunity to find out who you really are.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Thanks, Mr. Narwhal. Papa says New York is pretty different. Sorry! Looks like a Christmas tree. Sorry I can't ride with you the rest of the way up. Well, have a good time. Oh, I forgot to give you a hug. Dad!
You look like you came from the North Pole.
That's exactly where I came from.
You have another son. You like sugar, huh?
Is there sugar and syrup?
Yes.
Then yes.
We can't leave him alone. He's going to destroy the place.
Son of a nutcracker!
These guys are bad news.
Snowball.
Where did you say you were from?
Fruit spray? Wow.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Oh my God! Santa,
He really did believe he had a special relationship with Santa, and of course his coming to town was an excitement. That is a movie I can still watch I don't know how many times. But speaking of my favorites, this is one of my favorites. Actually, I think top when it comes to Christmas movies, the movie Die Hard. This is a movie featuring Bruce Willis, and of course right now, if you know him, you know that he's good with the action. Even back then, he had the action in play. Now, Die Hard does take you through a story of, it's an action, it's a thriller. It's getting you into hoping to spend Christmas with estranged family. Now, Bruce Willis, in his quest, he's hoping to spend Christmas with his estranged wife. Detective John McClane arrives in Los Angeles, but however, he learns about a hostage situation in an office building, and his wife is one of the hostages. Now, it's a hostage situation. Imagine what Bruce Willis did. That is what the story is all about in Die Hard. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Hi, my name is Pablo Perillo. I am Bruce Willis' double. ¿Qué pasa si Bruce Willis came back para un Die Hard 6 final? Enjoy the trailer realista hecho por fans de Macam TV, que muestra el regreso de John McClane formando equipo con su hija y su hijo.
Well, you wanted a quiet life, John. Dead batteries, empty streets. Night, pal.
One pill makes you larger and
You're under arrest.
makes you smaller. And you keep on chasing rabbits.
Hello, John McClane Jr. Your dad has been taken by one of his old nemesis.
They say life could be understood backwards.
To understand, we must look back at John McClane's story from the beginning.
But it must be lived forward.
That's right. It'd be a pity not to recognize what's at stake.
You're saying I'm driven by revenge? I am. That is all I've got left.
All right. Let's go save him.
Well, it is a story that began with his wife being in a building of hostages, but after he actually made their mission impossible, they're coming back for revenge. And of course, that takes you through the movies that came even after the first movie. We go to the second movie and now the 60th part, where you see even Bruce Willis growing into the role. But his enemies are now after him. That is a story to look out, but they always ruin Christmas. And that's the kind of thriller that is out there, the action of ruining Christmas. One that you can actually watch this Christmas as well. But this is Felix and Philomena's favorite, and I don't know, for some reason I think it's because it involves kids. We're talking about a movie, Home Alone. Now, Home Alone will take you through a journey of looking at an 8-year-old Kevin who is accidentally left behind when his family leaves to France. Now, at first he's happy to be in charge, but when thieves try to break into the house, he tries to put up a fight. That is a fight that you wouldn't want to miss. Let's see the trailer into Home Alone.
By himself. You just assumed Max was on the other flight.
We didn't take a census.
We got reports of suspicious people around 36 Lincoln Ave. I can't go to jail, honey. I wouldn't last 30 seconds in Gen Pop. It's where fresh fish get got.
Nobody here is getting got.
And we're criminals.
I don't think so. This is my house. I have to defend it. Orange stripe, center pocket. Ooh. That did not sound right.
I am trying to get home to my son, who is alone. I'm scared. And he needs his mother.
Well, such a good fight, and of course the action in there, but as well they get to enjoy Christmas. He gets to enjoy Christmas, at least not for the thieves, but also taking police on such a weird run. That is one movie to look out for, and of course there are many movies out there, but at least those are top on the list of what to watch for Christmas. Now, if you also want to lay back and probably catch a good book, still in the spirit of Christmas, I would recommend one that is actually taking you through a whole mood of Christmas, everything that happens on Christmas. We're talking about a book that is A Christmas Carol. Now, A Christmas Carol is a book written about being a ghost story of Christmas, commonly known as A Christmas Carol. Now, this is a novella by Charles Dickens, and of course, first published in London. That was by Chapman and Hall. That was back in 1843, and does go ahead to illustrate the story of Christmas, but also some of the mysterious beliefs that are believed about Christmas. Is it a ghost story? Is it still alive? Is that what really counts? Now, in the book, they take you through an elderly Misa who is visited by a ghost of her former boss and business partner. And of course, that is something that also goes into the story, how they meet, how she ends up taking that, especially on Christmas Day. They also bring you a lot of stories about the past of Christmas, and of course there are people who foretell things in the future basing on what happened in the past. So in this book they're showing you things that happened way before people still started celebrating Christmas. Now imagine them coming back to haunt people that are actually celebrating Christmas. You could be celebrating, but on your own risk. This is a good story to catch, of course, in the book A Christmas Carol, and it is a classic available online, but I think also hard copies are available in some of the bookstores. This is one that you can easily pick out and, of course, get to know some of the controversial conversations about Christmas and, of course, what people believe in that. Well, also, it's about time that we take you through sports, maybe some of the games you can look out for this weekend, but also what has been happening. Ruben himself is here and he will be taking you through most of that. For right now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk sports.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
hallelujah. Bonane, bonane. We wish you a happy new year, and I love you, Ugandans. We are happy to have been supporting UBC TV. Thank you for loving UBC TV. Thank you for supporting UBC TV. I'm Muteguya Goodrich from Hallelujah Reflexology. I am happy to be here today to wish you a happy new year. Thank you for being part with the Hallelujah Natural Drink. Thank you for being part with the UBC TV and the UBC Consortium. Thank you. May God bless you.
Hi, I'm Isabella Avasa, and I work with Flavish Events. Did you know that UBC has a new canteen, a brand new canteen filled with goodness, delicious meals, and a Flavish Events? We are welcoming you throughout the Christmas period. Will be open, and would like you to come, relax, enjoy while we go through the Christmas period. Merry Christmas from UBC, and we wish you a happy new year.
My name is Nabeta Karansoteri. I'm the Executive Director, Management Training and Advisory Center, MTAC. We're a public tertiary institution with headquarters in Nakawa, but with outreach centers in Mbale, Padel, Iganga, Ruero, and Tungamo, Mbarara. I want to take this opportunity to urge our parents to use this festive period to take care of our candidates, rather our holiday makers, and give them opportunities to be skilled to produce products and can competently sell them, because as we go into 2023 and other years, it's only the skilled that will be in position to sustain the livelihoods of our people. With those few remarks, I wish to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous 2023.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
I was watching somebody here, and I'm so impressed by the dress code anyway. But I'll start with basketball. We had two games this morning, but the Pelicans, yeah, true, the Pelicans beat the Spurs. That was 126 to 117. We had the Jazz beating the Wizards. That was 120. No, they lost actually to the Wizards, 120 to 122. But for me, the action is tomorrow morning. When some people will be sleeping, others will be waking up late to watch basketball. Those are the results for the last four this morning's games. And then tomorrow morning, from 3 a.m. up to 6:30, I will have NBA games. Of course, the first game will be the 76ers against the Clippers. That game will be at 3 a.m. in the morning. Then the Celtics will take on the Wolves. That will be at 3:30 as well. Then the Nets, KD's Nets will take on the Bucks. Now the battle between the two big men, that is Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant. Wow, what a game. It will be a battle of the two big men, the men who are 7'6". I wonder if they came here, but you would Mollen would not even look at one of them. She would be like a 7-year-old. Again, if she stood alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo is, I think, 7'8", 7'9". Wow, well, that's that kind of height. You can't find it anywhere in Uganda. But anyway, they'll take on each other, KD and Antetokounmpo. Then we'll have the Knicks against the Bulls. The game will be at 3:30 as well. And it will be at the Madison Square Garden. You can, those who can catch the games, you can always watch them on your pay TV channels. And sports, but I think Variety 4 has the games. You can catch the NBA. Then at 4 a.m., Rockets will take on the Mavericks. Then the Heat will take on the Pacers. Now, this is a good game as well to catch, the Heat against the Pacers. Then the Thunder will take on the Pelicans at 4 a.m. Then the Nuggets will take on the Blazers. The Suns will take on the Grizzlies. That game will be at the Footprint Center. That will be at 6 a.m. And then at 6:30, I think I'll catch the Lakers game at the Crypto.com Arena against the Hornets. That will be at 6:30. I can't catch this game, but the 3 a.m. games might be resting. Then on Boxing Day, the Premier League returns on Boxing Day, and the first game will be between Brentford against Spurs. That will be at 3:30. Then at 6, Everton will take on the Wolves at Goodson Park. Did I say the Wolves? That is a basketball team in the Timberwolves. So these are the Foxes, that's their nickname. So I was trying to mix basketball, the Timberwolves, because they're called the Wolves. So the team that is Wolves in England, they're called the Foxes, I think, Leicester City. But the Wolves have another nickname, which has kept my mind. But they'll take on Everton at Goodson Park. And then Leicester will take on Newcastle, and Arsenal will take on West Ham in the London Derby. That will be at 11 p.m. Arsenal will take on West Ham. And Liverpool will also be in action as well against Aston Villa at 8:30. Then the Saints will take on Brighton. That will be at 6. The Newcastle, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, Fulham will take on Palace. That will be the English Premier League returning on Boxing Day. And I'm pretty sure that many would I've been missing the Premier League, so you can catch the games live. But I had a message yesterday which I want to put to bed. Someone was asking me about Diego Maradona and Lionel Messi. Now, this is my thinking, or my what you should know. Diego Maradona will never be compared to any other player in this world. Those who watch Diego, and if you didn't watch Diego, go and see the clips. A player who moves from a big club, that is Barcelona, and goes to a small club like Napoli, and conquers domestic and conquers home and Europe. You can't compare him with Messi. Messi was at Barcelona with Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, and others, but Maradona went to Napoli with nobody. I mean, if it's like Messi leaving Barcelona for Brentford, and then goes ahead to win the Premier League and wins the UEFA Cup, cuts of his genius. So for me, Diego is Diego. But whoever thinks Diego is Messi, maybe you can look at stats, you can look at achievements, but look at the overall importance of a player in a team. Without Diego, Napoli would never have won anything. Without Diego, that 1986 Argentina, go back and watch England against Argentina. You go and watch Gary Lineker talking about Diego when they played in that semi-final. Then you know who Diego was. But Messi met a team called Poland, Mexico. You couldn't meet Saudi Arabia. So I don't think, for me, Messi is a genius, is great, but you can't compare him with Maradona. You can start comparing Geoffrey Massa or Geoffrey Serunkuma, because he has had a couple good number of goals, to Majidu Musisi. Majidu Musisi might never have gone to AFCON, but he was a great player. Nobody can be compared to Majidu Musisi. So let's go some of these comparisons and look at the impact of a player to a team, the importance of a player to a team. Diego was so important to that Argentine setup and Napoli setup than Messi. Look at Messi at Barcelona. Yes, he played his part, but there were some good players who would play for Barcelona without him. I mean, David De Villa, to players like Samuel Fields, Eto'o, that Champions League they won, I think it was 2006, 29 and 20. 2011, Messi might have been influential in those two finals at Wembley against Manchester United. But Diego was Diego anyway. I've got to go. Need to leave the floor to the team to come and wind it up. But of course, we shall be a Tuesday, not Monday. We shall be a Tuesday, take you through, and I will return to give you results. If Arsenal lose against West Ham, I'll get back here and tell you that the Gunners were beaten. Have yourselves a lovely day, and Merry Christmas to you all.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagement with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, seems like we're coming close to today's show, but also it's been amazing. Ruben, thank you so much for the sports updates. Clearly, we walk into the weekend knowing what to expect for the sports lovers. It's Good Morning Uganda Friday special as we are heading into the weekend. I just want to hear your final brief Christmas messages, Felix and Mollen. Maybe just to start off with you, Mollen.
Well, my Christmas message is share love. Be loving and be giving. Doesn't matter how much you have, but be able to share it with the rest of your family, your friends, and that will give you a good sense of what Christmas is all about. That is my message.
And Felix?
Well, for me, it's love. That is, the love conquers all. I know for a fact that it's the biggest commandment from our Lord, and Christmas should be an opportunity for us to become anew, to bless somebody, but don't put yourselves on pressure.
Well,
live within your means, but also try to be as disciplined as possible on the roads. We already have a security road alert that we saw on Masaka Road.
Yes.
I think there's already a collision by two cars. It's on our page of UBC. Please be very careful. We know most of you are going to move out of town, but be very, very careful. We pray for you. We bless you. We wish you all the best. We love you. We'll miss you for this Christmas.
Well, also today being 23rd of December, I want to say happy birthday to my lovely father, Mr. Emmanuel Musime. Wherever you are, I'm bringing my love to you.
Oh yeah, no wonder it's called Emmanuel.
Yes, it's called Emmanuel.
You know the meaning of the name Emmanuel?
God is with us.
God with us.
God is with that man.
Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, dear
to
daddy.
him.
Lots of love. Go ahead and thank him for
yeah.
a daughter like this.
Yeah, and by the way, I think
Philo
you take a lot from your father. You take a lot from your father. That cheer is, we wish him a good life and of course a long life.
We are going to send Philo with our gifts, so he must deliver the gifts.
Philo wants mobile money.
But we're praying for you, and we believe that God is going to keep you alive and healthy. As you have blessed your family, so will He bless you.
Amen. Yes, more blessings to you, Mr. Musime. Of course, continue to look after our Philo. We know she's still in your hands somehow.
Felix.
But by the way, you guys, one more thing. One more thing. Do you know that the Bible actually talks about, for God so loved the world. They didn't say for God so cared or God responsible for the world. For God so loved the world that He sent His only Son That means it's a message of love.
Yes.
Go ahead and share that this Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas from us and the entire Good Morning Uganda family. We love you, but we have to leave you. Please be careful and go spread love. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Good morning.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Noel.
This is Good Morning Uganda. Live from Now Avenue in UBC Studios. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay? If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay. If I'm looking at issues of the law.